Hello, I'm Brittany Violet, and the value of mine that I will be discussing is that of growth and development, both professionally and personally. To me, it's one of the driving forces as to why people work, so it should be one that should be heavily focused upon. After all, if you're not doing something to learn or grow from it, why are you doing it? My experience in the workplace have all been very driven around this particular value. As a former resident and community advisor for Housing and Residence Life at my undergrad, it was sort of my job to help students out and give them the resources, skills, and opportunities to grow and develop both as a student and as future leaders, and even personally as well. In addition, it was my job to also work towards the same goals myself and with my coworkers. It was there that I kind of began to adapt the idea that life begins at the end of your comfort zone. I say this because when you're pushed out of your comfort zone, that is where you are sort of forced to learn more about yourself and what you're capable of, giving you the opportunity to grow and develop into a better and more successful person. I also try to think of it in the way of things that I could be missing out on or saying no to by staying too far into my comfort zone and not branching out more. So what type of development and growth am I missing out on by doing that? And is it really even something that I'd ever really know? So I try to make sure that I'm modeling the way by following that example. That is just one way that I try to do that. To me, though, the greatest thing with this value is that it stems so far beyond just the professional level and goes also into a personal development area. It's just as much about that type of growth as it is about the growth that you can gain on a professional level. Ultimately, growing is about being a lifelong learner and putting yourself out of that comfort zone to learn and to grow and to develop. That's something that I've dedicated myself to and will continue to dedicate myself to. And I think it's one of the reasons that it drives me to this particular area of work as well as other interests of mine, because they're both fields that are constantly growing and evolving, which gives myself and others the opportunity to grow and develop with those fields. A value like this requires a lot of self-reflection to kind of gauge exactly how well the value is being upheld within the workplace and personally. It's not one of those values that you can really seek for specific feedback on from someone else, so it's a lot of more internal type stuff. Personally, I've completed a lot of self-evaluations over time to kind of determine how well I'm growing and developing, and have even kind of turned to start journaling a little more just to kind of gauge my growth and development on a more personal and professional level, since it is primarily more internal. Ultimately, though, it's all about kind of keeping the right mindset and an open mindset as well to kind of allow yourself that area and room to grow and develop. And that is how I personally model the way and set the example of growth and development in my work.